Hi, Steve. Mike Nickbakht. You called the office and you're suspecting that you may have a termite problem?
Well, my neighbor his house tenant had a lot of termite repair done, and I was worried that maybe my house had been infected and or infested, as the case may be.
Right.
And so let's check it out.
Have you have you ever had a termite inspection before?
I had a termite inspection about 10 years ago, and they found a bunch of work that had to be done on the other side of the house. And
Okay.
The house was tented at the time.
Okay.
But I don't think that type of a system lasts more than.
As soon as they take the tent off.
All right.
Yeah. Which neighbor was it that actually had the house tented?
Next door.
Okay. So, are you pretty handy? I mean, do you get up in your attic and things like that?
We do.
Have you noticed anything up there that you think might?
There might be some pellets in the one of the crawl spaces.
Well, let's take a look.
All right.
All right. So here's the TS-3. We're gonna fire this little guy up and get it going. TS-3 works on an infrared system. If and when it runs into termites and termite off-gassing, the system activates. Series of LEDs. This will take care of all termites, dry woods, subterraneans, damp woods, and formosans. It's an extremely useful little device in the sense that if you think you have an issue, this is going to tell you right now whether you do or not. So, with that said, let me take a look at these eaves real quick. Getting constant hits. I'm getting constant hits on the fire blocks. Two rafter tails and the fascia board. So we've got activity in at least 3 of these rafter tails and the fascia board. There may be a little bit of activity in the main truss beam over the garage, which is the main support for the front end of the garage. Without actually drilling, it would be difficult to say how extensive. But at this point, I'm fairly sure that I know for a fact that I have issues in those areas. So, with that said, I think we should continue on. When introduced into new areas, the TS-3 can potentially give off a false signal. So, when leaving an area, allow it to clear, and then proceed or go back to the same area and try it again. I'm using the injector tip, which gets me a little deeper into the wood than the nozzle tip. I'm getting activity here, guaranteed. Yeah. All right. So we're getting consecutive hits in this face, and which probably extends behind it as well. Termites. The beauty about this is that once any significant work has been done to correct the existing termite infestation, you can go back and test with this to make sure that you got a kill. And believe me, when it comes to termites, you want to make sure that everything you did was effective. I've found termites and hidden termites and hidden galleries in several areas of exposed boards that showed no evidence. There was evidence on both sides, but in the middle of the board there was no evidence, and TS-3 picked it up. When we went back and we drilled, we actually sank into the galleries. We're able to flood them and got a kill that way. Although we flooded the galleries on both sides of that existing board member, that material did not transfer to the galleries that we subsequently found and opened, which tells me that, or told me at the time, that there was probably a problem with the boards above. This happened to be on a varnished surface header of a garage, and it was a finished garage, and on the interior, obviously, you have a large support beam directly above that header. And I was able to find the termites in those areas with the TS-3, and we treated and shot from above, and subsequently ended up having the material drain out of the holes that we had shot down below. which lets me know that we got them. So let's continue on. This area seems to be okay. And here comes the best part of all. We're going to go up into the attic section of this garage and see if we can find anything. The owner did indicate that there were pellets that were visible out in the open. So I want to check some existing areas that are obvious, and then some areas that that through experience would indicate that there could be a potential problem there. So here we go. So as you can clearly see from the evidence, there's got to be an issue with some of the board members here. Now, as I indicated before, the TS-3 does need to clear itself. So in between hits, make sure that you clear and give it time to do so. Yep, steady hit. What can I tell you? We found termites where we didn't know there were termites, and we went back and found termites where we knew there were termites. The TS-3 is it's an invaluable little tool that can be added to any inspector's toolbox, and it also lends to a bit more credibility, and it's pretty impressive at that. So all I can tell you is after completing this inspection, and several others, I'm completely convinced that this TS-3 works and works well.